Okay, so let's learn about the selection sort algorithm. It's a sorting algorithm in which we sort the elements of an array. Let's take the array to be an array of integers. Okay, the array has elements 5, 7, 2, 3, 1. For example, I want to sort this array, so I want to make it 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. So in selection sort algorithm, it's a very nice algorithm in which we try to bring the smallest element to the first place, second smallest to the second place, third smallest to the third place, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, how do you go about doing this? So there is an outer loop that runs as many times. Okay. So for the outer loop, it runs as many times as there are number of elements. Okay. Runs as many times as there are elements in the array. So that means runs in array dot length times. Okay. And then once you are in the outer loop, you have to declare a variable called min. Now remember, this is not the value of the minimum element. This is the index at which the minimum element lies. And for the outer loop, I am using the loop variable I. So I will set it to I every time my outer loop runs. And then in the inner loop, what we are going to do? The inner loop also will run as many times as there are elements in the array. So that means range is going to be the same, array dot length, that many times it is going to run. Here we are going to compare any element in the array, remaining array, okay, yeah, sorry, array dot length, but it starts at I plus 1. From I plus 1 to array dot length. Okay, I'll show you the code in Java as well. Any element turns out to be lesser than the assumed minimum, then we are going to swap. We are going to change the value of min to this particular j. Okay, not yet swap. Swap will come later. So that is what will happen. And then once you've done that, your inner loop ends. Okay, inner loop ends, and before the outer loop ends, you have to swap the element at min with the element at I. Okay, element at min with the element at I. So let's do a dry run of this and see how it is going to work. Okay, so in order to do that, let me okay, so let's take a dry run of this. So the elements were 5, I'll write the code here, 5, 7, 2, 3, 1. Okay, the outer loop runs from I'm taking this example, so I'm going to write it in this example itself. So I is going to take values 0 to 4, 4 including, that means less than 5. Okay, less than the length of the array. Now when I is 0, that time min is going to be 0. Okay, so here is the array 5, 7, 2, 3, 1. I is pointing, I is 0, min is 0, right? And j is going to loop from I plus 1 going up to the length of the array. That means it is going to go from I plus 1 up to 4. Again, less than 5 is what we'll make it. So I plus 1, that means j starts with the value 1. So j is pointing here. Okay, now the comparison is done. Is 7 less than 5? No. So nothing happens. The if condition is false. Nothing happens. J moves on. J moves to 2. Is 2 less than 5? Yes. So min moves to index number. This is index number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So j's value, which is now 2, is given to min. Okay, so j is 2, so that is given to min. So min now becomes 2. Okay, then it moves forward, the loop proceeds, it goes and checks. Now because min is 2, it is going to compare 2 and 3. Between 2 and 3, 2 is still less, so condition is false. Now in the next iteration, 2 and 1 will be compared. Condition will become true, min will be given the value 4. Okay, so that means j is 4. J is 4 is given to min, min becomes 4. right? So we found the smallest element in the first pass. So this is the first pass, the smallest element was found. Okay, smallest element was found, and now after the inner loop ends, before the outer loop ends, we are going to do a swap. So we have to swap arr at I. Arr at I is what? 5 with arr at min. Arr at min is what? 4. So these two are swapped, and 4, sorry, not 4, 1, arr at 4, that is what I meant. Okay. So arr at I is, the I is 0, min is 4. The swap is done. 1 comes here, 5 goes there. So now the array looks like this after the first pass. 1, 7, 2, 3, 5. Okay. Same thing will be done in the second pass. Here 2 will take the place of 7. And then in the third pass, 3 will take the place, come to its correct place. Okay. And then eventually at the end of the 5 passes that the outer loop will take, you will finally have your sorted array. Now how do we write the code for this? So I'm telling you from the for loop onwards. Okay, see, considering that the array is already declared. Okay, so for int I equals 0, I less than arr dot length, I plus plus. Now my outer loop starts. I'm going to declare a min, and I'm going to give it the value I for every iteration, for every pass of the outer loop. Then I write an inner loop for int j. Now as you know, j has to go to the check the rest of the elements. So it should start from I plus 1 and j less than arr dot length, j plus plus. Okay. Now what do we do inside the inner for loop? So if arr j, you find any number less than what you thought is the smallest number, or uh, the index at which you thought is the smallest number, then you change the value of min to this particular j. So this is where the smallest number lies for this particular, in this particular pass. Now this is done, and we close the inner loop. Now we are in the outer loop. Okay, now we are in the outer loop. In the outer loop, this is here I've closed the if condition. Now I've closed the inner loop. In the outer loop, there you have to do the swap. So how will you do the swap? Int temp, temporary variable, and we will use it to temporarily store the value of arr at I, and then at arr at I, I'm going to give it the value of arr at min, and then at arr at min, I'm going to store the value of temp. And this is the selection sort algorithm, the selection sort code.